Hello, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with attorney Brian D. Lerner. In this particular episode, I'd like to talk about what is a codicil. Um, if you've ever drafted a will, everything is hunky dory and perfect, once you get it executed. But then years pass, things change. There's more kids, there's more grandkids. Perhaps somebody is deceased. There's more property. Certain property listed was sold. Certain property wasn't put in there. There were some ambiguities. There's all kinds of things that occur or happen once the years pass. And because of that, they rather than drafting a whole nother will and starting from square one and incorporating 90% what is accurate and just changing 10%, or drafting a whole nother will because maybe the first will wasn't properly executed, you can do what's called a codicil. And a codicil is a legal document just like a will, except what it does is it supplements, amends, qualifies, or republishes a prior testamentary document, which is the will. And so a codicil is a very important document and can be used in several different ways. At first blush, the easiest thing is when you have, for example, new property or so forth, and you want to include it, you would do a codicil, list out the new property, specify that this is a codicil to whatever will it is you're either supplementing or amending. If there's certain people, for example, that you wanted previously as the executor and now you want nothing to do with them, you can amend the name to put in the new person, the new executor. And so with a codicil, you must have the same testamentary capacity that you have in the case of a will. So, if you don't know who you are or what you're doing, the codicil is not going to be effective. So, just like with undue influence and fraud issues with a will, same as with a codicil. If you have a live-in nurse who you've known for 2.5 months and you make a codicil saying you are not giving a single thing to any one of your 12 children or 32 grandchildren, and you're going to give everything to your new live-in nurse, well, that's probably going to be set aside because of undue influence and fraud or testamentary capacity. So, so the same rules as with a will apply in regards to that. Now, in order to execute the codicil properly, it depends how you're making it. Just like there can be a holographic will, which is one you just write out on paper and you sign it, same thing with a codicil. You can just write it out on paper and sign it. But then if there is a witnessed will, you can have a witnessed codicil, which of course have two witnesses and so forth. And the same type of rules apply. It doesn't mean that, for example, if you had a formal witnessed will, that you can't have a holographic codicil. That's possible. Because, let's say you still have total testamentary capacity, but you know that you're, on your deathbed, and you want to make sure things get done, but there's not time, and let's just say there's no issues of undue influence or fraud, you can just write out your codicil, what you want to change, sign it, boom, you have a valid codicil, assuming, it's not ambiguous and so forth. And so a valid codicil and the will are really construed together as one instrument, a complete instrument. And remember, the codicil is not just to change something or amend something. You can supplement it, you can delete the prior one, you can take it out, or you can just republish the whole will itself. Because sometimes For example, people will come to my office and they will say, show me the will, and I'll go, no, this isn't valid. For example, you only have one witness, or it wasn't notarized, or whatever the situation will be. Well, you can make a codicil that will amend the will, republish it, and then get the codicil properly executed, and voila, you now have a valid will. And again, that might be more economically beneficial and easier than just redoing the whole will again. So that's certainly a possibility. Now, the codicil itself needs to state your intention. For example, if you want to republish the previous will, if that's desired, or if you want to amend something, or if you want to delete it. If it doesn't state clearly what you want to do, then the codicil can be attacked just like a will could be attacked, should it be necessary to bring it into probate court. So just because it isn't the will itself doesn't mean that it mustn't meet the necessary requirements to be valid. Now, just so you know, let's say you did a valid will, but then years later a codicil was done, and for whatever reason the codicil wasn't valid or wasn't properly executed. Well, then, let's just say you can argue about the codicil, but the will itself still remains valid. And so sometimes that's a good thing to do in order to minimize possible, damage that could occur later on. So you want to know that the property that's in the codicil or referred to in the codicil, which references the will, of course, will pass to the beneficiaries, minus all the various issues that could occur. So a codicil is a very useful tool if done properly. So if you like the video, click like, subscribe, go ahead and call my office. I give a free consultation in the Long Beach area, and then we'll go from there. More on the coming videos.